Was it, do you think they put him on sort of a titanium or a steel knee joint in? Do you think they put a plastic in so that it's in match with the rest of him?
Oh, that's naughty. That is really, really naughty.
Yeah, very vicious.
That's nasty, because you know that will upset him.
Yeah, shame on you, Preston. What an insensitive comment to make. The guy's life's at stake.
That's one of the nastiest comments I've heard.
Yeah.
Yes, you shouldn't say that, even if it's true, Tony.
Yeah.
He'll be alright.
That's good, Paddy.
Well, we hope so. Don't like to see anyone ill.
True.
Well, my sister-in-law had her knee done, and Bob's had his, or both his knees, hasn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, but since Bob had his knees done, he's never been as loud on here, has he?
Did the Queen have one of her knees done?
I think poor Bob's had a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Well, I think, Preston, you're just jealous, mate. You're just afraid that John and Ireland is going to finish up with two perfectly functional legs.
I don't know if I'm wrong in this, but I think they basically say if you have something like that done, you're looking at, say, 10, 15 years and then having it done again, aren't they?
Well, it has got a lifespan, but certainly, I suppose he's young enough. I don't know how old John is. He looks quite...
About 60, I think.
His legs look quite young. I should think he's about 60.
I think he's in his early 60s. So there's my, I mean, I could be 5 years out, but I think that ballpark area.
Yeah.
What was that program that used to come on television with them girls? What were it called? Legs, somewhat legs, weren't it?
I don't know. I've never watched baby stuff like that, Tony. Unlike you.
Oh, you're talking about Naked Attraction, aren't you?
No. Donkeys years ago, there was a dancing group. There were two of them. I forgot what was first and called, and then they had another one, and it's something legs. It was.
Don't know anything about that.
I used to like watching that now and again. Did you, Eric?
He used to watch so much telly when he was young.
I haven't time to watch telly.
Oh, no. No, because you had a good master, didn't you? She kept you in line, mate.
She did?
Yeah.
But he was brutal, though. he only turned up weekends. Did you know that?
Yeah.
He used to go away and spend all his time, and you never know what he was doing in the evenings.
Yeah. It was called Legs and Co.
Yeah, he's trying to.
Top of the Pops, 1976.
He's trying to change things now, Eric.
I know.
Yeah. We're a bit wiser to
cover up.
We might.
Yeah.
Well, if you'd lived such a busy life as him, you would be like that.
Yeah. He was known as Tony One Leg Over.
That's why he's bought that bloody sports car with an open soft top. That suited the soft brain.
How you don't? Is this like a second childhood?
Don't take us much to quieten him there, does it, Eric?
Yeah, the other group was called Pan's People.
Oh, bless people.
Believe it or not, I used to dance with them as part of the band's people.
Oh, well, Tony, you too. They're fancy people, Tony.
Now, so you come and start talking about Eurovision Song Contest now.
Oh, no, come on, no.
Pack it up, Tony.
No, we don't want none of that.
No. Well, he knew everybody.
They made a film about the Eurovision Song Contest, but I gather it's a bit tongue-in-cheek. I'm going to watch it either way. I could never abide it.
Eurovision Song Contest used to get on my wick. Tony liked the one.
Even Terry Wogan used to take the piss out of it while he was doing it, didn't he?
Tony used to like the bloke who had The woman that had a beard.
No.
Oh, well.
The fellow I used to like on television, and I modelled myself on him, was Gilbert Harding.
Get ready.
Harding?
Say again?
Gilbert Harding.
I can remember Gilbert Harding there, Tony.
Bloody hell.
He was, wasn't he? On that Eamon Andrews show.
Seamus Android. And tonight,
I thought...
Tony Preston, you know, we brought you all the way from Ballard and our, you know, Tony Preston, this is your life.
How about that? Well done.
Well done.
I think it was more like Max Wall.
I tell you what, if we did a That's Life on him, there'd be some bloody skeletons come out, Eric.
Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't there?
Yeah.
Max Wall? No, I couldn't wear them tight.
I tell you what, if you did a what this is your life on Tony Preston, I reckon Jack the Peg would have a lot to say about him.
He was funny. Max Wall. And the desert dance, you know, with the two guys, Eric. Hey, you found that juice up yet, boyo?
Oh yeah, I did find it.
Oh, well, come on in, give us a little rendition then, or do you want to leave it for another night?
No, but I did find it. I think it was behind my screen on my computer in the other room. Ah.
Is that the one that Sheila won't let you near it now?
No, I can be near it. As long as she's not using it. I mean, she plays bloody Scrabble and Bridge and all that stuff.
Yeah, well that's good.
Yeah.
Keeping her brain going, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if she's happy, well, I mean, what, can she not get away to play at the moment, but she's doing it online, Eric, yeah?
Yeah, she's doing both, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's not playing out of the house.
No. But she's still getting her enjoyment, which is good with the football or whatever, isn't she?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's been mowing out there today. And she's got her own mower. She's got one of these G-Tech mowers. And she does her own, gets it out of her garden shed, and away she goes and puts the battery in and charges it, and away she goes.
Good.
What do you think of this cricket ball business, you know, with this virus and them stopping them playing cricket because of it?
Oh, has the cricket ball got a virus?
No, but they're probably saying as it's being chucked to one another, something like that.
Yeah, but the virus would fall off, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I've never heard out as daft in all my life.
It's going on too long. Mind you, did you see that thing John sent today about them people on the machines? You know.
It just reminds me of this net. We're all on life support machines.
You speak for your bloody self.
We're all entitled to our own opinions, but we're not entitled to our own facts.
Been creaking all my life, Eric, so it don't make no odds to me.
Well, it's down to about 1 in 3,000 now, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got to start letting people get back to work and things there. They've got bills to pay, haven't they?
Of course they have.
You know? You can't totally mollycoddle the whole bloody world, can you? We've always known with normal flu, Eric, we're going to get winners and losers. It's a simple fact, and there's them things as old age and your immunity system not being as good, maybe, you know, that are going to get it. We know that.
Well, that's 100% on this frequency.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like, because they reckon the death toll for the over 75 is about 80%, you know. So if all us four catched it, there'd only be one of us left.
Well, I totally respect Tony Paddleton's right to get back to work.
Now you listen here, you little old mutt.
Sure, you throat.
Let me tell you, I'm retired now. I don't expect none of this treatment from you mutts anymore.
Retired from what?
Retired from working, looking for work.
Probably pulling your leg.
I know you are, Keith. That's all right, mate. Don't worry. We can insult each other without falling out. Well, you know, maybe we do, but we still love each other.
Love's a bit strong, but that won't be. None of it's meant personally, Tony. You know that.
Yeah. That's all right, mate. No offence taken. I take everything mostly in good heart. It depends how it's put.
Yeah.
You can accuse me of being a lazy bastard and not contributing anything. It's just the way you put it.
Yeah. You know, Boris, when he used to go to Labour Exchange, he used to offer him jobs, he used to refuse to take them. The excuse was, well, he didn't want to lose his trade. And when they asked him what his trade was, he said, Zeppelin builder.
Hey, you know what? I've noticed, Eric, now, with some people that are high profile, let's just take, Donald Trump's wife, right? Now, she was speaking today, and I looked at her teeth, and I thought, what a bloody state they are. For the money they've got, do they have to look like that? They don't have to, do they?
Oh, Donald Trump's misses his teeth. I mean, she's beautiful.
No, I'm not looking at her boobs. I was looking at her mouth, and I thought, you know, the amount of, shall we say, darkness in on her teeth that you wouldn't expect to see on someone so high profile, you know?
I don't believe it.
What?
Your telly.
Your telly, actually, must have been out of focus.
Yeah, your telly.
No.
Yeah, you're using your telly here, Tony.
Terrible teeth.
Yeah. You want to adjust your vertical hold on your telly.
I mean, Bassett Trump, she's drop dead gorgeous to look at. I mean, how the hell she can live in that price, I don't know. But,
Kelly, sorry.
well, she doesn't live with him, does she, really? She lives with her mother and she only turns up for, like, state occasions.
His sisters wrote a book on him, hasn't she? It's his sister. They've just brought a book out today, and she reckons he's a psychopath.
I think he's probably, I think it was his sister, I think it's his niece. And she's got a PhD, and he is a psychopath, Tony. I mean, God knows how many Americans have died unnecessarily because of his bloody bad handling of the virus. But you know, it's just what it is.
Yeah, but when you come to think of it, it was quite a damning thing, because what she said that she has a grudge to her. I think it's his sister. She said that when he persuaded his dad to leave him all the money and cut her out of the will.
Who's this?
Trump.
Oh, well, Tony, come on now, look. You're 70 odd. How old are you now? 70 what?
Me?
Yeah,
93.
I'm 79, why?
Well, 70 bloody 9. You ain't worked it out by now that we're being ruled by psychopaths.
What are you on about, Basildon?
But you said, didn't you? He's a psychopath. I said, haven't you realised that we're the world's run by bloody psychopaths? Haven't you worked that one out yet?
Well, you've had a lot of this, haven't you? I'll have to admit, like, physical but problems I've no problem with, causes of diseases and what have you. But when it comes to, mental stuff like that and having a shrink and stuff like that, you'd be more of an expert on that than me, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know about that. I think that'd be debatable. What do you reckon, Eric? You got any views on this? He's gone. He's gone before 12.
That's calling Eric over.
Ah.
Come on,
Ken?
that's right, Ken, innit?
Right, is Ken gone?
It's Ken.
Wow.
Dropping like flies, I told you, didn't it?
Yeah? You think we've been too hard on them, Tony, and it's got to them?
If you look at the GDP for the US graph, and if you look at the employment graph for the US, you know, from 2008 when obviously the economy crashed, through modern times, it's if you draw a line through it, it's pretty well a straight line. You know, both for the increase in the US GDP and also the US unemployment, you know. So Trumpy, of course, always says, well, you know, he's done this and he's done that, but the actual reality is a straight line graph, and you know, when you start from 2008, you know, with the big crash, it goes up, and Trump didn't change the slope of the graph noticeably in terms of the economy from Obama into Trump, or in terms of, you know, unemployment. I mean, obviously it's changed a lot in the last few months because of the pandemic. So
before the pandemic, the employment in the United States was the highest it had ever been. You've got it all wrong.
No, Tony, I haven't got it all wrong, mate. Listen, you know, you're all entitled to an opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. I will send you the graphs. The graphs were going, you know, the graphs were trending up, and yes, it is the highest it's been, but it's not because of anything that Donald Trump has done. It's because it was trending up anyway.
Oh, you can't say that. Yeah. That's the most. Oh, that's all in the pyramids like that. Oh, it's gone up like, but it's not because of what he's done. It's gone up. You know, it was going up. It was going up. You know, and you know, it's probably a democratic draft.
No, it wasn't. It's just, as I can say, you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. Facts are facts, mate. And of course, Trump. I mean, Trump lies habitually. If he has a choice between telling the truth and telling a lie, even though it's the most frivolous thing, he'll always tell a lie.
Yeah. Well, right then. Look at the other graph. That for every pound we put into the EU, we got 40 pence back.
Oh, for God's sake, forget Brexit. I mean, Brexit's over and done with. I mean, I'm not going to get drawn into that bloody argument.
No, but you was on about how good the EU was. So what sort of a deal's that, you know? How would you like to give everybody your fat Terry 40, every time you give him a pound, they give you 40p back? Would you go away happy?
Yes, I probably would if it was for the greater good of Europe. I don't have your narrow-minded view of things, Tony, but I'm not about that. I'm on about the US. I mean, if you look at the virus and the way the guy's held, you know, I mean, the US death toll, I think, is about 132,000 at the moment. And you can never say in the absolute sense how much Trump's incompetence has contributed to that, but it's certainly probably in the tens of thousands. Between now and January, when he hopefully gets his arse kicked out of office, there'll probably be another 5,000 or 10,000 at the very least who will die because of his incompetence.
Hold up a minute here. Okay, you say incompetence. If Biden gets in, I mean, you look at a bloody century, you know, with the Ukraine thing and his boy. That guy can't even string two bloody sentences together. At least Trump can do that.
Trump can do what? I mean, the guy is a complete freaking idiot. I mean, I don't know you can say that, Tony. Do some research, mate.
Hang on a minute, right. Keith. Are you betting and hoping that Trump, I want a straight answer, yes or no. Are you betting and hoping that Trump won't get in again?
I sincerely hope he won't, mate, because the guy's a fascist.
Right.
He's a threat to... He's a threat to our democracy. He's a threat to his democracy. I mean, he's even got that Bill Barr guy working on ways of, if he loses the election, of getting him to, to disregard it. And, you know, my dad fought in the Second World War, and, he fought against fascists, and Trump is a bloody fascist.
That's a load of bollocks. I'll tell you something. Well, I'm glad you because for everything that's happened on this net, Brexit, one to another over the last, every time you've always backed the losing side. You're a loser. So I'm glad. So Trump, if you say that, I know that Donald's certainly to get in.
And how the hell are you going to put him in the same vein as bloody Hitler fascist? I don't know how you do that one.
And you're a clever guy, and I'm surprised that you can look at Trump. I mean, Christ. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Boris, and our bloody, our Brexit record, our coronavirus record is not good, but at least the guy has tried. I mean, Trump, the irresponsible idiot won't even wear a freaking mask. He's made wearing a mask a political thing. And their coronavirus thing is going up through the roof. And literally tens of thousands of people are dying unnecessarily because that self-bloody worshipping narcissistic prick, is just, I don't know. I can't believe, Tony, you're an intelligent guy. I can't believe that you would defend Donald Trump. The guy is a prick.
I'll tell you what, though, he's still better than the bloody alternative, Keith, I can tell you that.
Hey, Keith, how many times have you seen our politicians wearing masks?
I support
Very seldom, but at least if you look at the trends, like I say, you're entitled to your opinion, Tony, but you're not entitled to your own bloody facts. So at least our thing is trendy down. That moron is going out and organising mass rallies, and I was really pleased at that thing he organised in Tulsa. Only 6,000 people turned up. But how irresponsible can you be as a leader of a country? You're encouraging thousands of people to turn up.
Hang on a minute. What's been happening here? With all the demonstrations, with your lot, or your liberal lefties and what have you, all over the place. Thousands turning up.
I'm not a liberal lefty. You just assume that anybody who doesn't have your point of view is a liberal lefty. I'm not a liberal lefty, mate. I used to go to Russia in the bloody Gothic days, and I know that that model is failed, but there is somewhere in between,
I support Trump. I will always support Trump. I think he was the right man for the job at the time.
Yeah, at this time. He's not the best. He's the best of the worst we got.
Oh, I think, Joe Biden is, 78, 79? If he does 2 terms, he'll be like nearly 90.
He's a bloody out-and-out bleeding crook along with his son.
No, he's not an out-and-out bloody crook. Tony, do your research a bit deeper. He may be a crook, but Trump is an obvious crook. He's gone bankrupt 6 times.
I don't care. Trump's been bankrupt a load of times and helped out.
Trump's been bankrupt 6 times, mate.
Yeah, and he's been helped out. I know by the friends of the Rothschilds. I know all the history, Keith. Don't worry about that, lad.
Yeah. Tony, I've always thought of you, both of Tony's, as reasonably intelligent people, and I honestly can't believe how you can look at Trump and see anything other than a corrupt crook.
Yeah. We ain't saying that he ain't corrupt. He's no bloody angel, Keith. We ain't stupid, mate. I know his track record, and he's certainly not clean by a long shot. But I'll tell you what, if you had to have someone like Biden, who is twice as bloody crooked as him, with no values whatsoever. At least Trump has got a couple of values that I think he's got right. Biden's got nothing.
Hang on, Tony. For God's sake, just go steady, lad. Don't wind him up too much. You'll break the spring.
Well, no, you're not going to wind me up because I've decided I'm going to cool down. I mean, I have lots of ex-US colleagues who are horrified by Trump. I mean, you know, Trump he's even got Bill Boris, corrupt Attorney General, who actively seeks to get, you know, Trump's cronies, you know, crimes quashed and all the rest of it. He's actually looking at if Trump loses the election, putting into place mechanisms to basically make Trump a dictator. So, no. I mean, let's be honest, Trump is not a very clever guy.
Well, what about the Democrats are there? You know, as soon as he becomes, he can't become the president, they had shock of their life. You know, there was the same lot here about, we certain will not come out of Europe, it'll be 10 to 1. When they got the vote, they had the shock of their life. And then the same thing happened in America. When Trump became, nobody expected him to win. They thought they'd lose by so much. All the blinking fake news and God knows what, Washington Post and CNN and all that lot. It's just the same. All them British bullshit corporation. When it was voted in by a majority under a system. I know it was different if you take individual votes, but that's where the voting system works. You know, the electoral college, and when he was voted in, they tried everything. They tried to impeach him. They tried to say Russia influenced him and what. They can't accept it. It was serious. Underneath, deep down, Boris. I know that you can't accept Brexit, but I had to accept it when I voted to come out in the early 1970s, and I didn't start mourning for months and months after, like you have been, did I? I accepted the result, and it took me 40 years for it to change about, you know. But this is the problem. You've got to accept things, you know, and it's not as you're calling him and what have you. He was voted in by the electoral system, and that's it.
Okay. So Tony, I have accepted Brexit. For God's sake, shut up about freaking Brexit. I've accepted it. Yeah. You know, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's a good idea. I have accepted it. Okay. And, you know, I mean, Donald Trump, he's not my country's leader. But, you know, the guy is an obvious freaking crook. I'm amazed that you can't even recognize that. The guy promised ordinary working people...
I'll tell you what Hillary Clinton is.
The status quo was bloody crap.
You haven't accepted it. You haven't accepted it. I can tell with your voice you haven't accepted it. Get down on one knee and humbly accept it.
Between telling the truth and telling a lie, he will always choose the lie.
Doubling, lads. What you need to get hold of is some, Keith, is some Viagra. No, wait a minute, got that wrong. Valium.
Keith?
Yes, mate.
I'd like to ask you a serious question. Hopefully I've got it. Have I got it?
Okay, take away.
Yeah. But be honest though, would you sooner have had Hillary Clinton then as the leader of America?
In hindsight, I mean, Hillary Clinton was extremely unpopular, and, you know, part of the problem in the US is there is no real democracy. I mean, they think they have the greatest democracy in the world, and they don't. Their democracy is dictated. It's like a Ponzi scheme, where, you know, the Ponzi guy once said he doesn't give a crap who wins. He only gives a crap about choosing who the candidates are. And the problem is with the US, they don't really have a democracy. They have a democracy which is dictated by huge corporations who choose the candidates. And, you know, I mean, yes, Hillary Clinton was extremely unpopular.
Yeah, Keith, you mean that the big corporations in America sort of choose the candidates and influence and all that lot. Yeah. Is it the same with the unions here?
Sorry, what's that?
Is it the same with the unions here?
No, before you go off on one time, can I get an answer from Keith on the situation? Would you honestly say that Hillary Clinton, right, was more honest than Trump? Would you honestly say that?
I think she was probably the lesser of two evils, Tony. And in a perfect world, I wouldn't have voted for either of them. But, you know, compared with Trump, she was the lesser of two evils. And I think what happened with the Americans, they were sick to death of voting for the status quo and the Ponzi scheme. And Trump seized on that moment.
I've got news for you, Keith. The whole world runs on a Ponzi system, my old mate.
And you know, we have to aspire to something better. And hopefully the horrendous Trump experience might make the Americans think about maybe they don't live in the world's perfect democracy.
No, there's no such thing as a real democracy. We've proved that on many occasions, or even a capitalist system. It's not. It's a managed system. But the point is, Keith, she has been proven to be an out-and-out liar, a cheat, and a dealing, underhand dealing. I mean, she's been caught out left, right, and hand more than Trump. I'm not saying he ain't had it. You know, as I said, none of them are clean, but I still say, even as a cleaner one out of the bloody two, she was a nightmare.
I would just say dig a bit deeper. I watch probably, most days I watch in the morning at least 2 hours of American news, CNN and MSNBC, and I watch both sides of the argument. I watch Fox News as well. And Trump is frightening, mate. I mean, he walks and struts around like, the Italian dictator in the last war, Duce, and Mussolini, Benito Mussolini, and he sort of looks up to dictators because he would like to be one.
So you'd be quite happy with Clinton and all her double dealing and all her slush funds and things like that, which they haven't found on Trump, have they?
Well, to be honest, she, bad as she is, she was the lesser of two evils.
No, I think that's the biggest mistake ever. I think definitely Trump. I'll tell you what, at least he stands up for his bloody country. It's more than she ever does. She puts different faces on who she talks to. At least Trump is what he is. I'll give him that.
Yeah. The only thing Trump stands up for is Trump. And Trump is basically a sociopath. Nobody loves him. He only loves himself.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you know, if you do your research properly, watch a lot of US news, but watch both sides. Watch Fox News and watch CNN and all the rest of it. And the guy is a bloody danger to global democracy.
This is a guy, Tony, that wanted Jeremy Corbyn in.
I didn't want Jeremy Corbyn in, you prat. I mean, how the hell can you say that, Tony? I used to bloody go and work in Russia, and the last kind of person I would want him was a bloody communist like Jeremy Corbyn. I detested the guy.
Well, who did you vote for, you told me? You told me that at the election you voted Labour.
I didn't vote Labour.
What did you vote for?
That idiot. I mean, Boris Johnson won, and as far as I was concerned, he was the lesser of a number of evils.
Well, who did you vote for at the last election?
It's none of your bloody business, mate. I didn't vote for Boris, and I didn't vote for Corbyn. I voted for... I'll tell you, I actually voted for Liberal, and I didn't want the Liberals to win. because I detested the woman who her policy was she would basically tear up the Brexit thing and just ignore it, and I just thought that was completely destructive. I didn't vote for Corbyn, for God's sake. I mean, why would I? I mean, just a guy who was just a naive, probably a nice chap, but he was just a naive quasi-communist, basically. And I used to work in bloody Russia, and I used to think, for God's sake, this place, is half of Europe tried it. And, half of Europe tried capitalism, and, bad as capitalism might be, it was a damn sight better than what they had.
Yeah, but that's why, as I said, you never accepted the Brexit thing, and because you've just cut your own throat. You said you voted to the Liberal because she said she was going to tear up the Brexit deal. So,
no, I didn't. I voted for Liberal because I knew they wouldn't win. I didn't want Boris to have my vote. And I knew the Liberals wouldn't win, so I sat there, quite literally, when I went to I was going this way, that way, this way, that way. I didn't agree with Brexit. Sure as hell, the last person would have voted for would have been the Labour Party. I have accepted Brexit, Tony. For God's sake, shut up about Brexit. It's over and done with.
Well, hey, that's right, Ken, isn't it?
I'll behave now. You are going off topic a bit there, Tony. You're changing it from American to English now. I think that's unfair to do that on Keith. You got to at least do one thing at a time, mate. I have to say that.
Eric's still there, chuckling away.
But no, look, as I said to you before, Keith, he's no bloody angel, not by a long shot. But when it comes up to standing up for his country, getting the business back into his country, the facts speak for itself. Whether you like him or not, you've got a lot of people that are against him, have been colluding against him. You've only got to look at the DOJ and the CIA and the whole bloody lot of them, the FBI. Every one of them's been going after him and trying to find shit, and they can't find nothing, and they still haven't. So, one has to ask oneself, well, if they keep doing this, and they're not finding any evidence or proof, just trying to shit over his name, then there must be something going on, Keith. That's what I'm saying. Look at the broader picture, old boy.
Tony, I literally watch a couple of hours every morning. It drives my wife mad. She says you're obsessed with Trump. And I watch it, and I watch more American politics than the UK politics for whatever reason. Trump, he criticises the press, he criticises the judicial system. He would like to annihilate it because he doesn't want, like it or lump it, the fact that the press, including the BBC, which I know most of you guys hate, the press is there and has a free speech and is able to criticise. That is what preserves our democracy. It's not the fact that you might object to what they say. The fact that the press is there to criticise and form public opinion, rightly or wrongly, one way or the other, that is the essence of democracy. It's not some freaking dictator, wannabe dictator like Trump, who literally says, that the failing New York Times and this, that, and the other. He is the kind of guy who would want to take away democracy.
No, I
disagree. The press, because the owners of the newspapers, see, the press is not these days, it's nothing like it used to be, and all the news channels, it's all biased, one way or the other. Yeah. I haven't found a news channel that just reports the news in what I would say a factual manner. The guy that's reporting the news, you can tell by his facial expressions and what have you. You don't even have to say anything. You know he's biased. You've got to, so the only thing you can do, you've got to watch all the different ones and try and make your own mind up. And for whatever you say, at least Trump is a guy that he puts America first, and that's his country. Half of them here, after how bad it is in Britain, it's the worst country here, and what have you, and the police are biased, and they're going back to 1968 about some others, like Guy, that actually, there's loads of people died in police custody, there's nothing said, but they pulled on one from 1968, and they're on about that again, they'll find anything, instead of just reporting the news as a factual thing.
Yeah. That's what's been sadly lacking. We're getting, and especially in American TV, you're getting them presenters, their opinion and what they think and what. I don't want to know their friggin' opinion. I want facts that match up what they're talking about in an unbiased but in a factual manner. And I think most of us would agree that's what we want.
Okay, well, so how do you defend the fact that Donald Trump holds mass rallies, wants to hold mass rallies, where people are unprotected from the coronavirus? How do you defend the fact that in Europe, and including the UK, the death toll has gone down, and in the US it's climbing up at an exponential rate? How the hell do you defend Trump?
Oh, you can't say this, look at them Black Lives Matter things that's been on the television. Crowds and crowds of them, within inches apart, never mind, So where do you defend that?
Yeah, you forget, Keith, that... where is it? When Germany relaxed things, the old virus took over again there. So, don't defend one side.
Tony, and it flared up in some meat factory in Munich, and they instantly took steps to knock it down. But I mean, the world's worst coronavirus response is the US, and the second worst is Brazil. So, I mean, if Donald Trump is so caring, the guy won't even wear a freaking mask.
What?
So how do you defend that? Forget about all the rest of the politics.
What about the country didn't have no lockdown and haven't seen any significant differences?
Yeah.
A slight rise, but no significant differences to if there's been a really bad cold or flu.
Yeah, listen, and there's another thing. Is the fact there? It's the word. I think in the States there's been 150,000 deaths against a population of 360 million. Now we've had 42,000 deaths against a population of about 65 million. So let's get the facts straight when they come on the television.
Yeah.
Well, just let's put those facts in perspective, Tony. The UK hasn't done that well. So, I mean, I know you lot are big Boris Johnson fans, and I'm not criticising Boris Johnson because hindsight's a wonderful thing. Yes. Proportional to the population, we didn't do that well either. But the US population is dispersed and spread out over a huge area. So, cases are spiking and spiking and spiking because they have an irresponsible attitude towards controlling the virus. New York did. New York went through a hell of a thing, and they've got it under control, and they're actually banning people coming in from other states. But I honestly don't know how the hell can you sit there and defend Trump's attitude to, which basically he's given up on the coronavirus. He's got bored with it.
Hang on a minute. Trump really, what are his views then? Apart from in America, and as you know as well as I know, the rules, like when the government here says we've got to stop 2 metres apart and put the roofs down. It's for the whole of the country. But in America, all that's done by different state governors. All different states have different rules and what have you. So you can't blame Trump. So if all the crowd together in New York and what have you, Trump can't do anything about it. It depends on the governor of the state. And as you say, we're more. That's another thing about why we were so bad, because we're quite densely populated cities. Things like so. All sorts to be taken into consideration. Pakistani, Bangladesh, and what have you, seem to be more affected, mainly residing in more densely populated cities, etc., etc. There's 1,000 things to take into consideration.
Well, Tony, there's this thing called cognitive dissonance, which is basically where you listen to the news and you choose out of it the things that you want to hear, and I try and have objective listening, and sometimes it's difficult because sometimes you have to change your opinion. I've come to the opinion that you guys, to be quite honest, to be brutally honest, you suffer from. You just choose out of what you listen on the news. You choose the things you want to hear. So. Basically, there's no way I can persuade you because you're basically bigoted, and I'm going to bugger off down to 1920. So, goodbye and thanks for all the fishes. Take care.
Yeah,
bugger off.
Okay. Well, I've had the eyes tested, and I don't have tunnel vision.
No, you don't. You just have a bias, and you're not prepared to listen. You're not prepared to objectively look at the facts and make a decision. You've made your mind up before you even listen to the news. So, bye-bye, I'm going down. I'm bugger off.
Oh, don't go, Chris. We love you. We don't want you to go. We're quite... No, I haven't got a pig sticker here or a cattle prod, I don't walk about with a cattle prod. No, it's just your opinion. You see, you haven't changed your opinion. We've tried to change your opinion of Donald Trump, but you won't, because, so the same thing applies to you as what you're implying applies to us,
I accept that, Tony. I completely accept it. And, to be honest, we can disagree about Brexit. And I'm quite happy to accept that we can disagree and we can be friends and have a different point of view. But when you come to Donald Trump, the guy's so obviously corrupt, I cannot agree.
No, you can't. No, well, we are just the same, isn't it? Yeah, and you said you just accuse us of being biased and only hearing, only repeating and agreeing with what we want to hear. But in the same sort of way, you were doing it. We're trying to say the good things about Donald Trump, and you won't accept a single one of them. I think at least the guy's a patriot. But yeah, but you won't accept that. So let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, they are.
Like I say, I watched probably
the millions that voted him in.
I'll tell you what, I would be very surprised, Ken, given his performance. I would be very surprised if millions have voted him in the next time. What I'm concerned about is that they'll vote him out, and his Blackie Bill Barr will try and override it. I just hope the US military will march him out of the White House, but there you go. I mean, Brexit, Brexit is a point of view. But, if you look at Trump's performance on the coronavirus, not anything else, that is just completely irresponsible. I mean, our death tolls and infections are trending down. The guy is just he wants to hold mass rallies and it just goes up. And I cannot believe I mean, Boris Johnson would never do that.
Well, we're going to wait and see what they think of him.
Under can you see by the dawn's early light?
Apart from which the guy his word box has a very small number of words in it. You have to admit he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Don't forget, is it a pill night or a beer night tonight?
It's obviously a beer night tonight, said Tony.
And you were going to desert us and go down to 1920, flipping egg.
Hey, I was just trying to shock you.
I never thought you'd back away from a fight. I honestly thought you'd never. Would you ever think you'd back away from a bit of an argument, Tony?
Oh, I'm not back away from an argument, but I would give up if it was obviously futile.
Hey, I'm going to ask you a question now, Keith. What do you reckon on the Putin situation now then? Because apparently he can be allowed to run again as president and get elected if necessary. What do you reckon on that?
On Putin?
Yes. The people voted majority. If you believe, of course, it's a corrupt system, then whatever. But they voted, the majority, 70% voted to allow him, if need be, to look after the country, basically. They trust him more than they trust anyone else. What do you reckon on that?
You're about Vladimir Putin?
Yes, of course. Who bloody else?
I don't know. I just wanted you to... Well, I mean... if that is genuinely their choice, that's their choice, Tony.
Yeah.
But I would rather suspect, I mean, there were people apparently in Russia that complaining about the lack of support for coronavirus, etc., and they were literally thrown off buildings. Well, they fell off buildings. I'm not saying anybody threw them off, but they, But I mean, if that's their choice, that's their choice. That's their country.
Yeah. There's a question I'd like to ask. What do you think of the guy in the Philippines that has actually managed to clear the country of every remnant of drug taking?
Good luck to him.
By allowing anyone who thinks that they can go and shoot someone, yeah. Bloody good system, isn't it? If you look at it now, you see they voted for Putin because they wanted stability, and they could see that he wouldn't let that left-wing lot that are trying to hear and across the world pulling all the statues down. They're proud of their heritage, whether it's bad or good. But here it seems we've got to do away with everything, Keith. What do you reckon on that?
Well, about Vladimir Putin, who had a couple of agents that came into Salisbury to assassinate a couple of people and carelessly discarded the nerve toxin, which happened to kill. No, he's a nice guy. He's a wonderful person, and I hope he gets re-elected.
Yeah. What proof was there ever shown of what you've just said being the case? There's been no proof whatsoever.
100%.
By the media again. There was no tie to Putin whatsoever, and it's not been proven. But you'll believe the media, won't you? Because that's what they said.
Well, what would you believe, Tony? But what the hell? I mean, you personally can't go and investigate and prove yourself. You have to have a reasonable degree of confidence in your, and I believe that people like the BBC, you might say naively, but what's your alternative? What would you believe? What is this alternative source of information that you would accept that would prove that the Russians sent a couple of bloody clumsy agents into the country to try and assassinate, somebody they regarded as a traitor? Fair enough.
Yeah. If you think Russia is stupid, or Putin would be stupid enough to do something like that, unleash a nerve agent, then I think you're on another planet, Keith.
So who did it then?
Well, Tony, I've been there, mate, and yes, I do believe it. And I don't know. So who the hell do you think that released this nerve agent? Do you think it was brought down, released it deliberately as some sort of conspiracy thing to discredit the Russians?
Yes.
Yeah, he would, because he's a conspiracy theorist. Well,
so you believe Putin, then you've got the evidence that Putin sent 2 men then to come and let it. Have you got the evidence?
no, don't need
I
it.
don't, in the absolute sense, I don't have the evidence to say he didn't do it, Tony, but what evidence do you have to say he didn't do it?
I'm not saying he didn't, I'm saying have you got evidence to prove he did? You haven't, so therefore your point is stupid.
Yeah.
No, my point isn't stupid. Your point is stupid, you bloody idiot. I mean, I have to... I have to delegate to the security services of my country to investigate these things. I can't personally investigate them any more than you can. I have to delegate that, I live in a pseudo-democracy. I realise it's not an absolute democracy, but I live in a pseudo-democracy, and that my country, my government, appoints people to investigate these things. Your problem is you think everything's a bloody conspiracy theory. You're just daft.
No, you can't. Tony's right in a way when you come to think about it, because... you can't blame it on Putin. There's enough evidence that no matter where you look, that it was the Russians that came across, and they've done it 2 or 3 times, going back to Buster Bloody Crab and what have you. But he was supposed to be looking under the water at the submarine, at the ship, because improvements that we didn't have at the time. Well, that was a story anyway. But so you can't. And it's same with the Kosigi thing that thought that was murdered in the embassy. Did the sheikh there and give instructions for it to happen? Possibly, and very likely. But you can't prove it, are you?
Yeah.
When Cummins took his trip up to away, and did Boris know all about it? Possibly, So there you are. Tony's right in a way. You've no proof that Putin had anything to do with them poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the end, you elect a government, and you elect a set of people that act on your behalf. And there is no way that you can have personal proof of everything that happened at that scale. The boat horse piece, the 40, 50 years ago, was literally about 2 miles down the road from me. I don't have any absolute personal proof that the guy did it. But, the police force of my country and the guy that they thought he did it, and, they proved he did it to a reasonable degree of, whatever. A jury prosecuted him, and that was it. You can't personally say that you have to have proof of every single freaking thing that happens. You delegate it to your country and to your police force to prove things did or didn't happen, and you have to accept it. I can't make out what this bloody conspiracy theory nonsense is you're on about.
According to you, and we don't trust proven, Keith, that the trail led back to Russia. That we definitely know because of the polonium on the planes and whatever. And we've got a good idea what happened, but you haven't got proof. That's my point. And we're supposed to operate on a system of proof. If you haven't got the proof, be quiet.
Well, Tony, you did have a reasonable degree of proof. It was a reasonable doubt. These guys came over from Russia. They went to, how much bloody proof do you want? Do you just want them to get away with it because of your conspiracy theory nonsense?
No, I believe that's what happened.
Yeah,
but we can't get you to link it directly.
You haven't got the proof to prove that. you can have a damn good guess at probably what did happen, and you might well be right, Keith. No one's saying that.
Same as on here. Just the same on here. There's messages going all over the place about what's being said, but we can't say them all, send them all, can we, Tony?
Well, the law says reasonable doubt.
No, yeah. By your peers. No, I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen any indictments written up and them being asked to be held account, Keith. So there you go. And I don't think our own governments are damn clean and in certain things in certain ways, but I can't believe that Putin would be stupid enough to unleash a chemical weapon. I'm not saying that it didn't come from a laboratory in Russia, that's a good possibility, but we know how a lot of them things were leaked out to some of these bloody criminals. So, you know, until you got proper facts, Keith, you can't just say he did it and that's it. You know, that's not right.
I'll put it this way, Tony. He was responsible for the people that did it. One way or the other, whether he knew or not, is academic. If he didn't know, the buck stops with him. So, I mean, in the end, so what would you like us to do? Do nothing? Or would you like us to just roll over and say, well, we can't prove it. Tony Basildon can't prove it, so therefore it must not have happened. You know, the law says you have to prove things within reasonable doubt. Now, I can't personally say that those Russians didn't come in and poison those people in Salisbury. I don't have any direct individual knowledge, but you know, it's all about you, mate. It's all about a collective society. You know, if you choose not to believe in society, well, that's bloody anarchy.
No, it's not. You got that wrong, Keith. It's about the law. What is the law? Not what you think.
Well, the law, Tony, proved within a reasonable doubt that it was probably the Russians. They couldn't absolutely prove it, so the action they took was they expelled a load of spies and Russian politicians. And not only us, a lot of other countries in the world also expelled Russian diplomats, including the US government. So I'm sure none of them took it personally, and so he took it, you know, I'm sure a lot of them, Tony, it's inconceivable, but it may just be that they knew more about it than you do.
Oh, I'm not saying they might not know. They might know certain things more than you do. But the point is, what you're missing, Keith, is we operate under a system of law and proof of guilt, and innocent of guilt until proven bloody guilty, or innocent until proven guilty. And whatever way you want to cut it, you can cut any international thing you want, but has there been an indictment? Have they been put in front of the court and found guilty? No. So therefore, you can only guess like the rest of us. It's probably true. You can't damn well prove it. And it's the same with our lot do similar things, that get away with the same thing. It's just a different side of the card, Keith, really.
I think you're probably right, Tony.
They've asked on several occasions and the Russians have refused it.
Vladimir, you know, fair cop, you win. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to roll over and take it.
No, I'm not saying that, Keith. What I'm saying is if you're going to accuse people, then put the facts up and do it in a court of law or in the international court of law, whatever you want, and prove it there, convict, and then fair enough. But we don't see any of that. All we see a lot of the time is a reporter said this and this and that, so it must be bloody true, just like the Steele dossier, you know.
Hey, Ken, did you manage to repair that 264 Britannia class?
I haven't attempted it yet, but yes, that'll be easy.
We'll change the subject, Tony, yeah?
They asked for extradition for those two Russian guys and it was refused. They've asked on several occasions. So you can't get them to a court and they're guilty as sin.
No, you're not guilty to being found guilty in a court of law, Tony. I'm sorry, but you're missing the point again.
Not missing the point. You've got to weigh the evidence, and the evidence is that they did it, and that's it.
Yeah, the evidence is they made a dangerous attack. It was basically almost an act of bloody war. And, you know, you can argue about the bloody semantics of it, Tony. It was an act of war on British soil.
Yeah, they did it before, didn't they, with a walking stick and ricing on a railway station?
Why would anyone want to get rid of them like
potentially
that?
It had the potential to kill, if it was distributed well, tens of thousands of people. And they walked around, they put it on the doorknob of that Russian guy. And they threw it in the bloody skip. You know, and they threw it in the skip when they were finished in that perfume bottle. And you know, it killed one innocent Brit.
He wouldn't do it. Nobody gives the instructions and somebody stupid that did it.
Some point of bloody principle, because you have no sodding principle.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest, what's the fallout, right? I mean, say a Russian lot come along like they've done before, with the umbrella, put a ricing thing in the guy and killed him, you know?
He wasn't Russian, was he?
They could come over any type of scenario you can think. Run him over, do all sorts of things. Push him in front of a train. It's endless what they could do. Does it make sense for a state to say we're going to send a chemical weapon or use a chemical weapon? Come on, mate.
They were Bulgarian.
Because they're making a statement. They're making a statement that we can get you, you bastard.
Well, they know it was Russian.
How naive you are, Tony. Give me a paranoid about everything else.
Found a bottle, and the woman put it on her wrist.
Guy that they poisoned with...
Her boyfriend was very ill.
It was that sort of thing with the umbrella with Bulgarian, like, you know. And for God's sake, Boris, do us a favour, lad, will you?
Yeah, but
wipe your doorknob tomorrow morning.
There's dozens of ways to kill somebody, and I couldn't imagine Putin. He's not stupid by a long shot, that guy, and I can't see him saying, yes, well, send a chemical weapon there, and it don't matter if it affects the rest of the population. Come on, boys and girls, wake up a bit.
What about Tony? So who did put that nerve agent on the doorknob?
We're two Russians, we're not disputing it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not disputing it. It didn't come from Russia, because the airlines, when they'd done the testing, they proved that they'd been on these planes all the way back to Russia, and these probably two people, Keith. We're not disputing that.
No.
Okay, so who is in charge of the Russian state?
Well, that's what you know. You've got to prove that they were tied to the Russian state.
Okay, I just find this mind-boggling. Vladimir Putin is in charge of Russia. Okay, so de facto, he is responsible for whatever happens.
Oh, so someone goes down the road, robs the shop, and he's responsible for it now then as well then?
And we're not talking about somebody robbing a shop. We're talking about somebody who takes a nerve agent, which isn't easy to get hold of. We're not talking about something that you can pick up in the street in Moscow and say, have you got any nerve agent? We're talking about something which is like highly classified and difficult to get hold of.
Right.
The Russian state must have been involved in it. I mean, you know, for God's sake, Tony, think it through.
No, you think it through, because if it was only could come from a laboratory, that puts them more in the frame. Don't be daft, Keith.
You know, the whole point of it is the arrogance of Putin.
No.
What about the polonium episode then, Tony?
Yeah, the polonium thing. I mean, they poisoned the guy with polonium. What were they doing? They were making a statement. It can get you.
No, they could get him any other way, Keith. They could make him hang from a bridge like some of them have done and whatever. They can deal with him like the other guy that they dealt with. They don't have to go to them kind of measures, Keith. That don't make no sense at all.
It makes perfect sense to me. That's just the sort of thing I'd do.
Yeah, because you're bloody daft, aren't you?
Well, so is Putin.
You're bloody daft because you make it easy to lead back to you, Ken.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I ordered the DX Commander not on tonight.
Yeah, it can.
That's right, I did get back to him, didn't I?
Is he suffering from some sort of mental problem?
You killed the DX Commander.
Would you try and protect yourself from something coming back to you, or make it really easy, Ken? Come on.
Well, it just depends, you see. If I've given an order and somebody's been a bit silly...
But that's not what the question I bloody asked you.
Look, you don't know what happened to the people, do you?
Look, listen, lad. Listen. It was same with old Italy. Old Italy never did anything with the concentration camps, but you got a lot, virtually, and see, if Putin is that guy in what's his name, he was a friend of Putin's at one time, and well, not a. I think it was a friend, a close acquaintance, and there was some trouble and what have you. I don't know what it was regarding with. And what happened? Now he might say to it, by God, you know, it's like me saying, yeah, I wish we could get shut of the mall. And Boris going round and smashing all his equipment up with a sledgehammer. Well, I didn't tell him to do that, did I?
They were both in the secret police together, weren't they?
Yeah, but they just...
You know, I'm rethinking my point of view.
No, seriously, like, because he probably might have been another department that, you know, well, Putin don't like that fella, well, we'll do something to please him, and that, well, it's happened a lot, that, hasn't it?
I think our government, our corrupt government who don't give a crap about our human, you know, our lives. I think our government authorised Porton Down to put some nerve agent on that guy's doorstep.
No.
No, Tony, we're going down this road, mate, now. You've absolutely got me convinced. I think our government... Our government, it's disgusting when you think about it, authorised Porton Down to produce some nerve agent that was put on that Russian guy's doorknob and then thrown into a skip, so hopefully it would kill some of our people. I mean, it was a master plan to incriminate the Russians, wasn't it?
No, it's still one evidence that they actually did it. You know,
Tony, I just give up on you, mate. You're just daft.
No, it's just that you're not intelligent enough for that big brain of yours that you pretend to have. You can't handle it.
Keith, I think I'm a damn sight more intelligent than you, mate. I think you're just daft and you're just looking for conspiracy theories everywhere.
I tell you what, it's 1:45 and I'm going to disappear.
Yeah, of course, sod off.
Okay.
I think you've worn me down as well. I was going to go off in a bluster about half an hour ago, but yeah, I think I'm still going to go down to 1920 to cool down.
Keith, then one of you's head calling.
I still love you, mate, no matter what. At least you believe what you believe, so I'll always have time for you while you do that, but the only time I won't have nothing to do with you, Keith, is when you know something's wrong and you'll just go along with it, but you're not that kind of a guy, so off you go, dear boy. We still love you.
Cheers, Keith.
Cheers, Tony. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. I can't say I love you all, but I'll contemplate it tomorrow when I'm sober.
Yeah. Catch you later, old boy. Sleep well.
And you, take care, everybody. G4KDH, gone.
Good night, traitor.